All right. Well, good morning, ladies. I'm very excited to be here with you today. Michelle Molitor, Nectar Consulting, the founder and facilitator for the Wonder Woman Unite Circle here on Lean In Circles. And for those of you who are new to the group, we are an amazing group of women from all over the world, executives, entrepreneurs, professional women, amazing moms, sisters, mothers, daughters. And our group is fabulous. We've grown to over 252 members now worldwide. Our latest member came in from the Netherlands, I think, and one from Fort Worth, Texas, just last night. So, and the whole purpose for this group is really to create a safe space, to foster rich, bold discussions about things that matter to you as a woman and how to thrive, right? So getting support from other successful women from literally all around the world, every corner of the globe. There's Emma. There's her beautiful face. And so it's about helping you expand yourself, expand your leadership, expand your thinking and what's possible, and get out of your own way so you can do more of what you're here to do, right? My name's Michelle Molitor, and I am an executive confidence coach and your rapid rewiring expert, aka a rapid transformational hypnotherapist. So I help you get out of your own way and remove those limiting beliefs that have got you stuck. So enough of that. Let's see. This group meets every third Friday of the month at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 Eastern, and 5:30 Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. All right, and then everybody else around the planet, y'all can do your own math because that's not my forte. Right now, one caveat to my rule, my third Friday of the month rule. Next month, I'm going to Florida for my mom's 80th birthday surprise party. Shh, don't tell. But I'll be in Florida that week. So we're going to have it on the fourth Friday next month, which will be March 23rd. So that's just a special occasion. My mom only turns 80 once, and trying to surprise.
She turned like 59 at least 3 times that I can remember.
I know. Well, trying to surprise the Judy that's the tricky part. So
okay, so you're going to do this on the 23rd?
Yeah, so next month it'll be March 23rd. So the fourth Friday. So exception to the rule for my mama. So let's see. What else can I tell you before we dive in? So my new beautiful website is live. Michelle, you can go to michellemolitor.com or nectarconsulting.com. All roads lead to Rome. And under under the tab at the top about Michelle Molitor, you'll find the Wonder Woman Unite heading. And there you'll find all sorts of free information, and about the last 6 months of our calls are filed up there as well. And then you can also find them on YouTube. Okay, so this has been up to this now for over a year and a half. So we've got a lot of great calls for those of you who are new, and you can go back and listen in on all sorts of really fabulous topics that we've had to cover. And let's see, the other exciting thing that I want to share is that I should do this. Here it is. My new book is out called Breakthrough Healing. See, there's my little name right up in there, right? So I'm one of 6 authors, and it's all about different forms of alternative medicine. So in it, I talk about rapid transformational hypnotherapy and the power of that. And so you can find it on Amazon now, both in the Kindle version and paperback. So whoop, whoop. Very exciting. And all the proceeds, Angie, you'll love this, all the proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So,
sweet.
Yay. So, feel free to grab a copy if you're so inclined. All right. So for today, what I wanted to talk about, since it's February and, there's the whole Valentine's thing this week, It's really about, oh, yay, Sean joined us. Whoop, whoop. Give it up for Sean. Hometown girl. Um, we went to high school together. So Angie, I've known her even longer than I've known you, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I was fixing to say it's been.
Sean and I go way back. So today I wanted to talk about the art and science of attraction, because attraction can be many things. And I really want to expand this as beyond just Valentine's, right? I don't want to be cliche, and it's not about that. It's actually about loving yourself, right? And the more that you can love yourself, the more easily you're able to attract to you the variety of different things that you want for yourself, right? But it really, really starts here. Really, it really, really starts here, and it starts here in your heart. And so I've been a coach now for over 16 years, and I'm really into the neuroscience of it and the energy aspects of it. And what that means is that it's about understanding the actual essence of ourselves, and the essence of each one of us and everything is just energy. You boil us down to its littlest bit. We're just particles of energy spinning around in space, right? You get enough of us together, and then creates mass, and then something more tangible. So, but I've done a ton of reading around this, and so what I've learned and in my own experiences is the more that I've been able to shift my thinking, my emotions about myself, then my energy shifts and expands. So some basic premises here are positive thoughts or emotions vibrate at a higher vibration, and lower, more negative thoughts vibrate at a lower vibration. All right. So if you're feeding yourself a lot of negative self-criticism, your energy is going to be much lower. Therefore, you're going to be energetically vibrating at a lower frequency. And then the law of attraction kicks in, that like attracts like, right? So then you start attracting to yourself more negative things that you're not doing it intentionally or consciously, and not to say that you want it, but it starts to happen. It's like if you ever like stub your toe in the morning, getting ready to go to work, and then the rest of your day kind of seems to go downhill from there. It's kind of that same phenomenon. So it's about starting to notice, what's the energy that you're being? What are you radiating out into the world? And noticing, what are you drawing back into you, right? Because if you think about it, your energy literally expands from your body by 2 to 3 feet in every direction, right? I left them in the other room, but you can make, I call them my woo-woo wands, right? You can take a coat hanger, right, and make an L-shaped, right? So you make 2 L-shapes, and then on the short side of the L with the metal coat hanger, you can take the cardboard piece that you hang your pants over and stick that on there, so then it spins freely. And if you just hold them literally about a foot out from your body at chest height, you can get yes, no answers. So I could say, my name is Michelle, and they would open up like this all by themselves, because my body knows that's true for me. That's a yes. And so my energy expands, right? And so these become divining rods, and they open because my energy is expanding. Now, if I said, hi, my name's George, my body would be like, no, your name ain't George, girl, right? And so they would close, because your body knows that that's a negative, and it starts to contract, right? So you can do this, and there's a lot of different ways. You can get a pendulum. You can muscle test with your arm with someone else to find out what's true for you and what's not true for you. So for example, you can actually use muscle testing, the same thing. Essentially, you just, by having someone press down on your arm to find out what those truths are. You could use it to say, test for food allergies. It's one way to do it. So there's a lot of different ways that are applications of this, and you just tune into your own energy. Now, when it comes to creating what you want in your life, it's about being mindful of what's going on in your thoughts, because your thoughts literally shift and transform your biology in your body. So, for example, if I'm feeling really happy and excited about something, then my brain releases happy chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. So like when you hug someone, it gives you a little burst of oxytocin, which is also known as the love hormone or the cuddle hormone, right? And it feels good, right? And conversely, if you're stressed out about something, your brain releases cortisol. And cortisol is part of it's a reaction to your fight or flight. So if I'm stressed, my amygdala, or Amy as I like to call her, Amy, your amygdala is like, oh, you need to run. So cortisol bursts into your body, which then is telling your other non-essential systems that they need to slow down so we can redirect that energy. So for example, when you've got cortisol running through your body all the time, your immune system is less effective. Your digestion is not as effective. That's why we tend to gain weight when we get stressed out, because those other primary functions aren't working as well. So that's just kind of the science behind it. But more importantly, it's about focusing on what you do want in your life and less on what you don't want, because the more you focus on the things that you don't want, well, I don't want to stub my toe, but then I stub my toe. Like I remember when I was first learning how to mountain bike, a dear friend of mine was showing me the ropes, and he was a pro. And he said, now when you're riding a single track through the woods, if you look at the tree, you'll hit the tree. Or if you look at the rock, you'll hit the rock. And by God, it was true. I'm like, oh, there's tree. Next thing I know, I've smashed into something that I didn't want to smash into, leaving me with a very large bruise. So it's the same thing everywhere else in your life. If you're
That's
looking,
very, very true of golf.
Yes.
So if you think, oh my God, there's water on this hole, I don't want to hit the water, I'll go straight to the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have to be the ball, Danny, right? See the pin. And so it's the same thing with anything else. So what are some of the things that you ladies want to attract into your life, whether that's relationships, success, pet projects, passion projects? What is it that you want to create in your life that you don't quite have yet? So I just want to kind of go around the room and have everybody share really briefly. So Angie, why don't you start, because you're good at these kinds of things.
What I have been trying to create is a very intentional life. I went through a big deal last year and purged my loft condominium and did a renovation. And Michelle, I can't wait for you to come through Atlanta and see it again.
I know.
Completely different. But I want things to be quiet, intentional, and laid out, so that in my financial advisory practice, a lot of the white noise in the background goes away. So that when we sit down, it's easy for me to focus on you. It's easy for me to take you through those steps simply and clearly, so that you aren't overcome by, because most people have anxiety around financial issues. And then normally you just have anxiety around your finances, but when you come in and you meet with somebody like me, usually the language is so foreboding and you feel like it's a big black box. So I'm just trying to simplify and get things in my life clean lined.
Beautiful. Who else? Wait, before we go, what if anything is in the way of that, Angie? Is there any blockers that are in your way around that?
I probably break my little camera if I pull it off and run it around my office to show you the blockers. But my job is detail focused. There's a boatload of stuff to do. I have not put in place a full-time assistant that's getting the load of the to-dos off my shoulders. So I do a lot of work, and I don't trust others to do it exactly right. And when I'm handling your money, like it's got to be exactly right. And I haven't, and part of the reason I haven't got to the point of hiring an assistant is because I'm spending too much time doing work instead of bringing in new work. So I'm kind of in a vicious cycle. So I'm kind of running it at max, and at different of these that I've done with Michelle, I have shared other people are striving for greatness. A lot of times I'm just striving to get a load of laundry through so I can have clean underwear, you know? And I'm a neatnik. I'm not just this orderly about my business. I'm orderly about my life too. So any chaos left really jangles me up. And, you know, I just have reached a point that I'm not moving forward because I'm moving so side to side so fast.
Okay. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. All right. Who else would like to share?
I'll share.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
And Angie, thank you so much for sharing such a deep personal situation. For me, it's really interesting because, you know, I'm 65 years old, and if there's anything I've learned by going through life is to not get, and I don't mean to sound off track, but too attached to what I want or how I want things to be, because when I focus on what I want and it doesn't happen, then it kind of throws me off, and at times too, what does unfold tends to be much greater than I could have even imagined. You know, when I was young, I traveled. An example, when I was young, I was just traveling around, having a blast, doing my thing. And then I had kids, and I thought, okay, I'll do kids. And then I became a single parent. What I wanted was to be there for my kids when they got out of school and during the holidays. What I ended up getting was a PhD. So by moving away from what I wanted and trying to strive for anything, by moving from the heart and being loving, my life unfolded in such great ways. And then things kind of, you know, went a little haywire. And where I am right now, I'm at that place where I'm trying to live in such profound gratitude and looking at what I do have. And at the same time, I'm reading that I'd read this book called Beyond Limitations, and it talked about how we create our reality. And our creating our reality actually has some limitations, such as karma. See, I'm doing the woo-woo stuff. Karma, societal norms, and a couple of other things that underlying these things are blocking us. And until we can move past that, then we move on to vows that we've made probably in other lifetimes. And because I want to manifest money, but I realized I had probably made a vow to celibacy and poverty as a nun or some sort of thing in some other lifetime. So my life wasn't moving forward. And when I read that book, it was like, oh my God. And I intentionally said, I break that vow because it's not like karma. You can just play the little game and recoup. It was more deeper to where I had to break this inner vow that I had made that was actually blocking me. And once I did, all of a sudden the money was starting to come in. Although then I'm faced with these lifelong habits that I have created that keeps me here. So I'm working on cleaning up my life. I'm getting ready to launch a new product. And in my research found out about a book called Wonder Women, How Western Women Will Save the World, which I think is an incredible, don't have the author in front of me right now, but it made me think of everybody. So I wrote it down so I could share that. And my life has taken off in such incredible ways like it did before that I can hardly keep up with the goodness that's falling into my lap. And then what is preventing me from moving forward? Changing the outdated habits day to day, which can be painful because it's like a whole new way of seeing the world and walking. And so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Now, thank you, Elizabeth. You bring up a really great point, right? We have these old habits that run us. They're habits of thought. They're patterns of thought that we created whenever we created them. There were decision points somewhere in our lives that we decided, well, I have to do this in order to stay safe. Like, don't put your hand on hot stove because it's hot, right? So that's in the program running. So we know not to do that. But then there are other decision points along the way, around money, around love, around staying safe, all of these different things. These are all part of what your brain decided was something that just needed to keep you safe. That's just Amy working in the background. You know, her goal in life is just to be a stand for your safety. That's her flag, her stake in the ground. And so what I love about what you said is that getting past those old habits, reprogramming them is really, really challenging.
Yes.
Here's why. It's because they're all in your subconscious thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got this big old brain, and you've got 10% of it is maybe your conscious thinking, and the rest of it is your subconscious thinking. And everything that's ever happened to you is cataloged nice and neatly. Angie, you'd like that part. It's very neatly cataloged. Right there.
I'm sure mine is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. They're nice little, neat little boxes. And so the trick is, and it is possible, you have to get into the subconscious thinking and get at what's the root cause of that particular behavior, that belief that has you spinning in circles, you know?
And I wouldn't quite say that I'm really spinning in circles. And I think this comes with maturity. And what happened with my degree is by relying on the universe to provide for me more than I could even imagine for my life. And then life, societal norms changed. And then now here I am and all these things are unfolding. But a simple thing like going to the grocery store and a potential opportunity opening up. Although I'm so focused on, okay, I'm calculating how much my total cost for my groceries are going to be, and can I invest in going over and fixing myself a little buffet, and what do I want on the buffet with this plethora of selections? And how, stepping away from and still being observant as to what's going on in my environment for opportunities that may arise. Can you see the complexity in saying, okay, I'm just going to change my habit. I'm just going to,
Well, it's literally hardwired into your neural synapses.
Exactly.
Right. And so this holds true for all of us. And that's why I'm really, really passionate about what I do, because I literally get to help people rewire their brains, because you have this old thinking habit, this pattern that is this well-worn groove of synaptic connections in your brain.
Exactly.
And your brain loves repetition. So by creating a new neural pathway, you have to rinse, repeat on this new thought, belief, pattern, habit in order for it to become that well-worn new groove that overrides the old one.
When at the same time, someone that may have a problem with depression, all they have to do is smile, because the neurons in your face, when you change the expression on your face to a smile, those neurons automatically shift your brain thinking to positive thoughts. So sometimes it can be so simple as taking on a smile. When something's going on, you start getting all like this and everything. Just smile.
That's a great reminder. I'll try that when I'm driving in the car.
Yeah, especially if you get in rush hour traffic and all of a sudden you're going very slow, and that anxiety can come up.
So thank you, Elizabeth. Who else would like to share?
And now I do have to say that I have to go because I have a 1:00 appointment.
All right. Well, thank you for being here.
So
We're so glad you're able to contribute.
and I'll be back.
All right.
Okay. Have a good
Love.
one.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. We got 6 people in there.
Yeah. All right. Who else would like to share? Emma, unmute yourself. There we go.
Yeah,
Hi.
Hi. Well, hello, everyone. And this is my first meeting with you guys. So just wanted to say a big hello and thank you for letting me join your group.
Absolutely. And where are you joining us from, Emma?
Well, I am actually Irish, as you can maybe tell from my accent, but I live in Amsterdam.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. So
Are you losing your voice?
a little bit. Yes. I've had a dose of laryngitis, so I will try and keep this short.
No problem. Bless you.
So basically, just to share a little about myself, first of all, I work for an international BPO company, and I've been very lucky in the last year to now work for a very powerful and inspiring lady who has introduced my entire organization, which is 130,000 fold, to Lena in. So I'm kind of just starting on this whole journey, and it's really exciting. And as an example, just yesterday, we had the opportunity to go to Queen's University in Belfast and attend a Grit and Grace leadership program, and which we also then had our Lena in Circle table dinner, where we were so lucky to have our regional leader, Nuala, come and do a talk for us. Now, she's also a TED Talk speaker and had the privilege to interview Sheryl Sandberg last year. She also went and met her 4 years ago when she set up the Belfast Lena in Circle group. So, as I said, I'm just at the start of this journey. I'm very lucky for the first time in my 17-year career to have a really, really inspiring, powerful female leader. And she is such a tower of strength. It's amazing. And she's introducing now potentially 70,000 young, beautiful, intelligent, capable, hungry ladies to this organization. And I'm really lucky to be part of her foundation pillar group within our lead. So at the moment, I am planning my second mixer launch group. So I launched Lean in our Amsterdam site. I also launched in Helsingborg in Sweden, and I will go to Cairo for International Women's Day to launch there, where we have a site of now 1,800 people. And again, I'm very proud that in the program that I run, we have a lady site manager in Cairo, and I'm her mentor. So her and I support each other massively. So again, I'm really excited about all of this. But to get back to the question that is of the topic, again, my leadership has changed. The structures around that have changed significantly. And I am now in the process of transition from a global program manager to a global account director. And I really have affinity with Angie's story, because I am in the same situation of, I have so much going on at the moment with my current role. I'm so excited about my lean and launches. I have so much to do in preparation for my next phase. And I feel a little bit like I don't yet have all of my spinning plates under control. And yeah, I have to break some habits of perhaps the success that brought me here. I need to change that. And I really, again, with Elizabeth before as well, less success in the past, but realizing, and I need to let go and perhaps also delegate more. That big control freak in me is a little bit worrisome. So I have a lot of blockers there as well. But again, I'm very positive that this is a fabulous time. And again, just to get back to the topic of the law of attraction and the secret and everything else, I truly believe in this. I think I'm a testament of it. And I really love the fact that it's about choice. And I'll share one just small example. I come from a very large family, being Irish. And it is very curious how you see the different personalities and the different energies of, the lower energy and the higher energy. And I'm definitely an extrovert. So my energy is high. And my choices about memories and about experiences are always to focus and elaborate on the positive. And where my reality is that I had the most perfect childhood. And yet I see with some of my siblings, namely two, who have a different choice switch than I. And yet, despite experiencing pretty much exactly the same scenarios, where I might look at her scenario and go, wow, she even had it better than I. We have a very different perspective. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really affected our paths in life, because I don't limit myself in that way. And I do choose for it. And I firmly am a believer in the law of attraction, because it is about putting out what you want back and choosing what you wish that to be. And if you take the positive out of that, then it will be, because that's your reality. So there's a little bit about me, my journey, where I am. And again, I'm really grateful to join your group and look forward to having an international community as well.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for sharing. It's so great to have you here. And what a wonderful thing that you're a part of such an amazing group. Invite them all in. They're all welcome here. The more the merrier. And I love that you're starting some other groups there in different spots. That's so beautiful. It really, really is. I had the opportunity just last week, actually. I was speaking at the Palo Alto Lean In Circle, which I think is the biggest group around the world. It's got like 1,800 members or something. But it was really fun. And I had to smile because the topic of my conversation, Emma, was saying no with grace and grit. So, great minds think alike, but it's really all about how do you take back your power and choose more consciously where you want to give your energy to, and where are you letting Amy be in charge, right? Versus your fears being in charge, versus you choosing consciously, like, yes, this is important to me based on my core values, and that's where I want to put my energy, versus being pulled in 14 different directions because, I need to look good, or I need to feel like this is the right way, or somebody else said that that's how it has to be. So yeah, there's a lot of subversive things that run in our subconscious that pull us in different directions. But it's really based out of fear, not based out of the front part of our brain, that conscious choice place that says, oh yeah, based on my values, my passions, my natural talents, my purpose, this is the direction that I want to go, versus thinking, oh, I'm just a victim to this, or I have to be a martyr to it all. So I loved your comment, Emma, about the differences between you and some of your siblings. And it is really, really powerful. I was just having a conversation yesterday with a dear friend of mine whose sister unfortunately passed away very unexpectedly about 2 weeks ago. And she was saying that her sister who passed away, her name was Shelley. She kind of had that glass half empty perspective. And my friend who I was talking with yesterday about it, she was like, I just had this feeling, because she's really intuitive. She's like, I just had this feeling that all that anger in her kind of created this rampant cancer that took her out inside of 3 weeks, in 3 weeks. And so I had to smile in sadness, but what I know, one of my favorite quotes is, the emotions that cannot find their expression in tears will cause other organs to weep. Yeah. Right. And so if we're not allowing ourselves to process our emotions fully, it gets stuck, and then it starts to fester, and then it will manifest in different ways, right? Whether it's
shingles. Shows up as shingles. It shows up in all different kinds of just a lot of it is your body chemistry just being off and acting out on itself.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
all that stress.
Exactly. And so that's why it's so important to allow ourselves to have our emotions. I love my mother dearly. She's an amazing woman. She's itty bitty. She's all of 5'2" and maybe weighs 90 pounds these days, if that. And she's had this she's always had IBS, or inflammatory bowel syndrome, like, as long as I can remember. And for years now, she's had this pain in her gut that the doctors cannot diagnose. She's had her pancreas taken out. She's had her appendix taken out. None of that was the issue. But my mother's very stoic, and I've never, ever seen my mother cry, not once in my entire life. And so she doesn't allow herself to feel her feelings. And I know in my heart of hearts that pain is just her body going, you have to let this go. You have to let this emotion, the stress go. And she literally doesn't know how, because she's never allowed herself to do it. So it's hard to watch and frustrating. And I'm like, Mom, I'd love to do a hypnotherapy session with you because I know I can help with that. And she's like, well, let me see what the doctor will say first, right? And so it's her choice, and it's her path, and she has to walk on it how she's going to walk on it, right? But I've been fortunate enough to help people with like chronic migraines their whole life, and within 3 weeks their migraines are gone, or IBS that they've been dealing with for 15 years, and a month it's gone, right? Because it's all about changing those subconscious beliefs that we have about ourselves that keep our energy tight and protective and clenched. And when you release those old beliefs, then your energy expands and all that stuff is able to fall away, and you no longer need it anymore. So that's why, this topic for me is an important one, because I want each of you to have what you want in your life. I totally do. And it requires creating that expansion, even though that can be really scary sometimes, because you don't know what's on the outside of your comfort zone. But I promise you, after you get past the uncomfortable part, you're like, oh, wow, okay, there's more room out here. This feels better, huh? Why was I stuck in that box all this time? Right? So anyway, Miss Nida, what would you like to share with us today?
Thanks, Michelle. So my what I want is really not work related.
That's okay.
There's this really nice man that I see in the gym almost all the time, and he just inspires me. And Angie, I see you're smiling. So this guy, this really nice gentleman, is 77 years old, and about 4 years. What?
How old are you, Nida? We can't see your picture.
I'm in my okay. I'm in my 60s. I just came out of the gym. That's why I'm not putting on the video. But I'm in my 60s. So. No. So anyway, so let me tell you. So let me tell you about this guy. He's just amazing because he just inspires me. 77 years old. He had a bad knee about 4.5 years ago, so he had his left knee replaced. And then about 6 months ago in September, he had his right knee replaced. But this man is just so dedicated to staying healthy. He's in the gym almost every day. And so he inspires me because I'm thinking, like, I'm in my 60s, and I was going to the gym, whenever I felt like it. And this guy is like there every single day. So what I want is, I want to be like him when I'm 77. I want to be healthy and happy and just so full of energy. I mean, this man is, and he's the kindest guy that just like, he has 2 grandchildren or 3 grandchildren that he loves and adores. And he's just like, he just creates this really positive energy. So every day, you know, I've been, since when I'm home, because I'm sometimes traveling almost every month just to go do things on my own. And every day when I'm home, I just look forward to going to the gym and looking forward to, yes, seeing him, because he inspires me. Like, I got to work out too, you know, like I want to do and stay healthy. And I'm doing this program called White T to 5K. I don't know if you guys know about that, but I'm doing that program, which, you know, you walk for 5 minutes and you jog a little bit for 1 minute, and you know, you alternate off and on, and it really helps your cardiovascular. Anyways, I've been doing that for like, I think this is my 5-6 weeks now, and it's working really good because I have lots of energy, and I do it in the morning. I get it out of the way, and I make sure that I have my 10,000 steps, at least 10,000 steps a day. And so that's what I want. And I just want to be as healthy, happy, and energized as him when I'm 77. So I think, you know, that's my story.
That's fabulous, Nida. Well, thank you for sharing that. And regardless whether you've been in the gym or not, I'm sure you're just beautiful. So don't you even worry about yourself.
She never told us how old she was.
Oh no, she's enjoying the fruits of her labors.
I didn't know if a 77-year-old gentleman was in your age scope or if that was a big jump for you.
No, he's not a big jump. Now, I actually have a partner, and he lives in the, I actually have a partner, so I'm really not interested in any relationship with him. I'm just inspired by the fact that I see a lot of people in their early 60s and some in their 50s that are not healthy, and it just makes me sad that I think we can do so much to stay healthy, but that's such a low in our priority in terms of having health, you know, instead of having a good health. Because to me, it's just, if you're not healthy, if you don't have good health, you don't have anything. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care whatever, right? I mean, look at Steve Jobs. Look at all these really wealthy people. They can't buy time. They can't buy time. Everybody has got the same exact 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, regardless of whether you're poor or you're wealthy or you're whatever, right?
Right.
So if you don't have good health, to me, it's just like, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of focusing on staying healthy. That's kind of like my thing. Yay, Michelle. And yeah, I know, Michelle, you were on a program. You had a personal trainer last year too, right?
Yeah, and I still have my personal trainer, Daniel, that I'm working out with about 3 times a week. And since I began, I've probably lost like 5% body fat. And I'm much stronger now. Ooh, look at that muscle.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yep, I got up to, last week I got up to 200-pound leg press and 105-pound deadlift and squat. So, boom, like that.
Perfect.
Ida, you just didn't realize when you started talking about noticing a guy at the gym that me and this one right here are notoriously boy crazy. Notoriously boy crazy. Everyone is scoping and looking at gentlemen.
Well, and allowing them to come up and approach you, but that's another story for another time, Angie. Let's see. We have Alicia and Elena on the call. Alicia, would you like to share with us a little bit about, you know, some of the things that you want to attract in your life and maybe what's blocking you?
Is that me, the one on the phone?
Yes.
It's Jaleesa.
Jaleesa. Okay, sorry. I knew I'd get her wrong.
No, it's okay. No, it's no problem. Yeah, and I was driving. I stopped now, but so I couldn't see the name that you put up. But anyways, I kind of had an aha moment listening to you ladies, and not to get into too much detail because, you know, our stories become with so much in our lives, but about 10 years ago, I left a career that I really wanted for a long time. I really enjoyed, and I got into it, and it really wasn't what I expected. And I left it, and I feel like I've been chasing that after I left. I felt regret, and kind of been chasing it for a long time since then, I feel, and kind of looking how to get back, but it just hasn't happened. It is not, the doors aren't opening for me, and I'm realizing I'm shutting the doors to other things that are out there for me. I have not been, allowing those doors to, or I'm sure there's tons of doors that are open for me. I'm just not seeing them. So I think for me is to, in order for me to be happy with what I am doing in my life, because it resonates in your family, in the work you produce, your relationships. I think for me it's really opening my mindset, maybe, or being more appreciative of what I've done in my life, I guess, and know that I can move forward and find something that's fulfilling for me, because I'm never going to be happy if I don't change that mindset.
Exactly.
So I think for me it's going to be, for me, my goal, I would say, is to be more open to other experiences or other, not necessarily careers, but maybe other types of work or other avenues of what type of different work that I can do or career I could do. And really knowing that I have a lot of experience, both life and work experience, and I can apply that in many ways. And what's blocking me, I think it's my fear.
Yes. Well, you make a great point. We all have those kinds of fears, and it's something for you to think about is focusing on what you do love to do, the parts of the work that you've done that really inspire you, that light you up, that fill you with joy, and put that out to the universe. Like, I'd like to work these many hours. I'd like to work in this area or location. I'd like to be working with people with these kinds of values and this kind of mission. I'd like to utilize these skills and talents that I have. I'd like to be making this much amount, money or more. You kind of put that out to the universe, and with the caveat of like this or better, right? So that you have this blue sky opportunities, and then taking the blinders off and allowing yourself to see what shows up. Literally, stuff will start to come into your realm out of left field, and it might not look anything like you think it needs to look, but just be curious and follow the popcorn trail of different thoughts or ideas or people that show up presenting you with different kinds of information. You're like, wow, I would have never expected that, but here it led to this, and that introduced me to this person, which opened this particular door. So it's just about keeping your perspectives open and not getting clamped down on. So when I say when you want something, ask for what you want, but be unattached to how it shows up. That's really the key. And Elizabeth pointed this earlier, right? This or better. How can I have this or better? Thank you very much, right? And then step into gratitude about all the wonderful things that you already do have in your life and the opportunities that you have experienced. And then how can I do this or more? I used to, for years in my own business, I used to focus on, got to get the next client, got to get the next client, got to get the money, right? Because I was running from this scarcity conversation, this worry, this fear. And when the light bulb went off for me one day to like, stop focusing on the money, because the money is just an outcome. But when you really focus on how can I be of service today? How can I be of service in a bigger, brighter way? Then all sorts of things shifted and new opportunities have shown up, and I've been blown away by what has transformed in, you know, inside of a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. So, focus on the bigger feeling of what you want to create, Julissa, because it's that feeling, those emotions, right, that create the happy chemicals in our brain, right? So the more you're feeling good, the higher your vibration. Circle back around to the beginning of the conversation. So the more you feel good, the higher your vibration, and then you send that out into the world, literally. And then people literally will be like, did you just humped your hair? You look really great today. Something's different, right? I literally had, Angie, you'll like this part. I literally had a very handsome gentleman walk up to me at an event I was at 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I just wanted to come over and introduce myself because I was really drawn to your energy. I was like, look at that working. Boom. So, you know, it's amazing what happens when you allow yourself to be filled with joy and love and light for yourself. It doesn't matter about anybody else out there. I mean, it yes and, right? But love yourself more completely and wholly, because then that's what you will be putting out into the world, radiating out into the world. And then people will be like, I'll have what she's having. I don't know what that is, but that's what I want, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think too, for me, it's because it was law enforcement is what it was. And I think the expectations of others, of me as well,
Yes.
I think that part, I feel like I've let go of that part of it, but I think I still held on to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very common, right? Again, it comes back to that programming that's kind of lodged in our subconscious thinking. You know, as I said earlier, I love my mother dearly, and she has some very strong opinions about things, about how they should look, how they should go, what should or shouldn't be done. And it's taken me years to undo that wiring about how I was supposed to show up in the world. And it's just in there. And so you have to undo it. And the hardest part for me was knowing that there was this block, but I couldn't figure out what the heck that block was. I just knew that there was this wall in front of me that I kept bumping into. Like, what the hell is that? And please get it out of the way. And, you know, I tried every which way to Sunday to move some of that stuff out of the way. And it wasn't until really that I discovered this particular methodology called rapid transformational therapy, or hypnotherapy, that I was able to get at those deeper blocks and eliminate them within like 2-3 weeks. Boom. Like, whoa, wow, that feels so much better. Because it's literally just these shifts in your subconscious thinking that you have to move out of the way. And when you do that, wow, things really start to shift and move quite quickly. And it's very, very exciting. I've watched it happen time and time again now with clients I've worked with from all over the world. It's fabulous. So, but yeah, you know, bottom line is I just want you guys to have what you want. I want you to feel light and bright and filled with love for yourself and for others, and to have that sense of inner joy and contentment, no matter what's happening out there, to be, you know, unflappable, right? Like, okay, it's just duck off a water's back. It's not a big deal. And there's things that, you know, certainly still will get you upset, but it's how you respond to an incident versus reacting. That reaction is that knee-jerk reaction where your amygdala gets, you know, fight or flight. Oh, we gotta fight, we gotta run, we gotta, right? Versus, let me notice that for a minute. Let me notice the emotions that are popping up on my body around that. And okay, it's really not worth my time or energy to get wadded up, right? No need to get my panties in a wad. Right. That might be a really good saying for you, Emma, to take back to Amsterdam. Maybe they don't have that there. I don't know. It's a Southern thing. You just unbunch my panties and I'll be just fine. So, Julissa, I'm going to put in the chat box here, or I can email this to you. But I have a new free training on my website. So you can go to nectarconsulting.com, and up in the menu, you'll see free training, and it's called 5 Steps to Confidently Excel in Your Career Without Ever Feeling Like a Fraud. So it's about a 50-minute training you can do anytime. And it might give you some other great ideas and thoughts about how to release some of that stuff that you're dealing with to get you to where you want to be.
Thank you so very much. I'll definitely take the time.
Yes.
Yes.
I have an image, and Michelle, it's okay, I promise. I have an image I'd like to send you. What is your email address?
It's emma.anderson@convergys.com.
And how do I spell Convergys?
CONVERGYS.
Okay, be watching your email and recognize it has to come all the way from Georgia, all the way across the ocean.
We'll take it through the transatlantic pipe, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll send you an email. I'll copy you on it, Mish.
All right, great. So we're at the top of our hour here, ladies. Is there any last minute thoughts or takeaways from our call that you'd like to share with us?
Well, as I'm off mute, I will just say this has been really lovely. I've really enjoyed it. I look forward to more. And thank you for sharing everything. And I would just like to push out there, very, very, very happy Friday. I hope everybody has a beautiful weekend and embrace.
Take care of your voice.
Yes,
I'll get there. The ginger tea is on.
There we go. Perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Emma, for joining us. Such a wonderful blessing to have you. Julissa, thank you also for joining us. So great. Angie, Nida, big fans, of course, always that you're here. And again, next month our call will be on March 23rd, so it'll be the 4th Friday, same bat time. And if you have any questions for me, you can always reach me at Michelle, Michele @nectarconsulting.com. And if any of you ladies ever want to have virtual coffee, please, I'd love to we can have a Zoom session like this and just get to know each other a little better. I always love to do that. So, all right.
I'm a social animal. I love to do it.
Great. Well, ring me up, girl. We'll set it up.
Sounds amazing. Okay, ladies, have a wonderful weekend, and thank you
All
very much.
right, ladies. Thank you so much. Many
Thank you, everybody.
And we'll see you next month.
Bye.
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 Bye.